Hi again, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Fillers and Filters. By the way, I'm Noella, or you can call me Miss Noe. And for this specific episode, I just wish to share with you some practical things that we are doing in order to cope with this new normal, specifically in terms of how do we manage the academic stuff of our kids. So in doing so, I will also be sharing with you how the school that my kids are attending, how do they manage to adjust to this new normal. With these information that I'll be sharing with you, hopefully institutions who are still trying to navigate their way in this new normal, hopefully they can find these insights meaningful or helpful. And perhaps for teachers who are also struggling, for parents who are also struggling in helping their kids at home, hopefully you will gain insights in this video. So first off, I would like to start with how Muirwoods Academy, that's the school where my kids are enrolled in, so how did they prepare for the new normal setup of the academic institution, or how they are exploring ways to ensure that they are able to assist their students in this new setup that is so alien to all of us. If I'm not mistaken, as early as April, Muirwoods had already been preparing. They started off with a survey. So they surveyed both their prospective enrollees and their current students. They surveyed them on what sort of resources are available to them. Do they have gadgets? Do they have internet connectivity? Or what kind of instruction delivery method would be most convenient to them, or would be most feasible for them? So are they okay with blended learning, with online classes, with modular, or what? So that's as early as April. And then come May, I think, they have already started with a series of webinars on how they envision the setup would be. And along the way, as the DepEd releases new memorandum or new memoranda, they would usually inform the parents about it, and they would revise these guidelines that they share with the parents. I would really commend the school administration of Muirwoods Academy because they have demonstrated flexibility and adaptability and their readiness to take on these challenges brought about by the new normal, or brought about by this pandemic that resulted in this new normal. I'm not really privy on how they conducted the seminars or the webinars, but since I personally know someone who teaches there, I am aware that as early as June, they've already been preparing. So they have undergone various seminars and trainings on how to navigate this new normal and how to come up with their instructional materials and the like, especially in maximizing the potential of digital technology. First week of August, when they started the bridging program. By the way, this is one thing that I also liked about Muirwoods, because in the previous school year, they were not able to finish all the lessons intended for that school year. They actually had a bridging program, which basically also functioned as a dry run. So they gave out the tasks, activities for the students to do. Remember that the lockdowns, the pandemic actually blew up actually as early as January. But really, it was already in March when they started imposing lockdowns and quarantines and preventive measures against COVID-19. So yes, they were not able to finish the previous school year. So the topics that they gave for the bridging program are basically from the previous school year. So what Mirwoods did was that they actually gave flash drives, so individual flash drives for the students. So here they would save videos of the lessons, the worksheets that they would need, the learning guide, and the answer key. But aside from that, they also gave a kit, okay, for all the students. In here are printed copies of the learning guides and activities that the students will have to accomplish. We'd usually give the flash drive back to them at the end of or before the end of the week, and they would give it as early as Monday the following week. But because Nueva Vizcaya the place where we're from, has been put under ECQ again, MECQ if I'm not mistaken, with a sudden surge in COVID cases in the province. So they have now opted to just send everything via email. So they would usually give us a link to the Google Drive where we can access all the videos, the activities, and the like. Aside from all these, of course, they would have the usual books. So they would have the usual books of the different subjects. Yeah. So they would have the books. And also they have the LMS, which is accessible online. So using a username and a password provided by the school, provided by their teachers, they would log into the LMS, and from there they can already access lessons and activities that can be saved or stored online, so that teachers can access them and the students can access them. August 24, which was supposedly the first day of classes, they conducted a video conference for the orientation of the kids. They gave us, including my kids, instructions on how to go about the process. And by the way, they also conducted a series of meetings for parents, which one I think I failed to attend. So anyway, so I failed to attend that one meeting, but the succeeding meetings I was able to attend. So they had a series of orientations both for parents and for the kids. And after each week, they would also conduct consultations with the kids. They have established a group chat via Facebook Messenger, and they would also communicate via email. So the kids are required to have their own emails, and they also have the numbers of the parents. And what's nice is that they would usually send the message via SMS and via Messenger, so that if the parents are not online, they can still receive the message via SMS. So I guess the open communication lines between or among the parents, the teachers, and the administration has helped in coming up with new ways on how to deal with challenges. Like for instance, the previous day, I think one of the parents suggested that instead of emailing the worksheets, perhaps it would be more convenient for everyone to send it via Messenger. Perhaps the school administration has realized that it was indeed a more convenient way than they actually agreed. Of course, the teachers are also very approachable in that they would usually ask if the students did not understand something. So now I'll be sharing with you some of my experiences in guiding my kids. So as I mentioned earlier, I actually have two kids. So one is a grade 3 student and the other is in grade 5. During the first week, it's really hard for us because I would usually have them do their schoolwork simultaneously. So what happens is that I would usually get rattled because I would have to attend to the two of them both at once, and all their stuff are scattered on their study space, that is, There's actually one instance when Nigel answered what is supposed to be Kieron's activity. So it's just so confusing. It's so overwhelming and at the same time confusing. So in the schedule that Mirwoods gave us, they would usually have like 30 minutes for each of the subjects every day. But I have found out that for Kieron, my second born who is in grade 3, it's hard for him to shift from one subject to another. So I have asked his advisor if it would be okay. I'll be asking Kieron to finish one subject at a time. And he said that that would be fine if that would be more convenient for him. So yes, so that's for the second week. So we tried blocking the schedule per subject. And it actually worked, except that I still get rattled because while I'm guiding Kieron, Nigel would come to me and ask me something else. And I would be really frustrated because I'm trying to focus on one thing. I mean, I'm also a master multitasker, but it's just so overwhelming and confusing. And, we cannot establish a routine and I cannot focus. Not to mention that, of course, Kieron, who happens to be very hyperactive and who happens to have a very short attention span, it would be hard to guide him if there are distractions. So now that we're on the third week, I have tried giving them a schedule, designating 3 hours for Nigel and another 3 hours for Kieron. So since I'm not really a morning person, because I'm nocturnal, I'm actually shooting this and it's already 2 a.m. So yes, so since I'm not a morning person, we would usually start from at 9 a.m. So 10, 11, 12 for Kieron and 3 hours for Nigel after lunch. So that's from 1 to 4. Okay, so that has been our schedule so far, which pretty much explains why I cannot find time to update my vlog or update my channel. So far, focusing on one child at a time worked for me, or worked for us. And we have established the rule that if it's your turn to do your schoolwork, you should not be tempted to go inside the room and watch with the other kid. So while they are doing their schoolwork, the other one can do whatever he wants. So for instance, if it's Kieron's turn in the morning, Nigel can watch TV, he can play, he can read or whatever. And once it's Nigel's turn, then Kieron can also do whatever he wants. So yeah, so far that works for them. It's just that I'm also hoping that as they go along, they will become more and more independent. But personally, I think that I would be out of touch with reality if I'll be saying that what works for Mirwoods, which happens to be a private school, would also work in public schools. And really, I would be very much out of touch with reality if I would think that parents will have the time and the knowledge on how to deal with these things. I mean, I am blessed to have a job where I am not required to report at work every day. So it's more like a results-oriented type of work. Not to mention that I also have a background in pedagogy. I also have a background in teaching. So I would know different ways on how to keep the kids interested or how to teach the kids, that is. I would be out of touch with reality if I would say that this setup would work for everyone. I mean, what about for parents who have full-time jobs? This is a very challenging time for us. For my kids, academic freeze might not work because they might just end up, watching TV all day or playing on the phone all day and not do anything meaningful. Or they might not be able to use their time productively. But also, it would be insensitive for me to say that the academic year or the school year must push through because not a lot of people are blessed with the same resources, are blessed with the time, the knowledge, the technological resources, and the like that we have. So, yeah, I'm I'm really conflicted regarding the issue on academic freeze. But if I'll be honest with you, I'm actually one of the people who would like to have academic freeze. Hopefully from this kwentuhan session, you're able to gain some insights or gain some ideas on how you can better help your kids to have a routine. What sort of things can you do to address these challenges that you are encountering with having to juggle your work and guiding your kids at the same time. By the way, if you have questions, feel free to jot them down in the comments section below so that I can address them. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell. Thanks again for watching. Au revoir.